Finland, where simple traditional cooking reigns, where salt and butter are still considered exotic seasonings, and where Finns still hunt, catch, and raise a lot of their food. Like this animal, prized for its meat and organs.
Is the reindeer tongue?
Others hunt and eat bear, or treat them like royalty.
He says he's angry you always give him frozen plums. He says, why can't he have more bacon?
A country where blood still shows up on school cafeteria menus.
In Finland, these brownies, they're made with cow's blood.
Where Michelin-starred chefs serve you the same moss that the reindeer eat and aren't afraid to experiment even with the most dangerous of ingredients.
Tastes great. Bad news, it might kill you.
I'm Andrew Zimmern, and this is Bizarre Foods. It happens suddenly, right in front of you. A fascinating friend, an amazing meal. And before you know it, you're alive in a way you never imagined. I live for those moments, pursuing the exotic and unfamiliar, especially when it comes to the food. If it looks good, I eat it. Finland. In summer, land of the midnight sun. And in winter, well, much less of it. With lakes formed by prehistoric glaciers, primeval forests everywhere, reindeer and brown bears roaming wild, and welcoming, hardworking people. It's the 8th largest country in Europe, the most sparsely populated, and technologically ahead of the curve. Sandwiched between Russia and Sweden, a quarter of Finland's territory is north of the Arctic Circle. So they're adept at cooking a small range of foods for hearty meals to get through the long winters. But in summer, the Finnish tables are groaning with local foodstuffs. These folks know how to make the most of it, including renowned chefs who rely on the local native ingredients, turning them into what they call the new Nordic cuisine, the coolest food trend on the modern culinary landscape. I want to see the new Nordic foods and taste the best of the traditional Finnish cuisine that inspired it. This is Oulu, a picturesque port city in the middle of Finland's west coast, where the Sokari Jussi restaurant serves up old-fashioned resupotu, a soup made with potatoes, onions, bacon, and big chunks of a food that Finns grew up eating as kids, blood cake.
Just enough of that sort of like old Band-Aid taste to let you know you're eating blood.
We had to eat it at the school, you know.
Really?
Yes, and we hated it. We all hated it. But
So
now we love it.
And what's not to love, especially when you see where the blood comes from. This tidy little factory outside of town where you'll find all the makings for a Finnish horror movie. There's Tapio and Vesa, and huge vats of blood. Viscous, hemoglobinous, cow's blood. Who's hungry?
Every school kid will tell you that the best snack in the whole world is a fresh brownie, hot, straight from the oven. Well, in Finland, these brownies, they're made with cow's blood.
You're looking at a Finnish school kid's worst nightmare. Livery, irony, blood pudding. Decades ago, some twisted government official decided this was the perfect health food for the children of northern Finland. Here at the Tuota factory, they make nearly 500 pounds of this stuff a week.
Need some help with that?
No.
Okay. Oh.
Making blood pudding is like making a huge sheet of delicious chocolate brownies. Instead of butter, you use rendered pig's fat. And instead of chocolate, you use blood. Hundreds of gallons of cow's blood from a local meatpacking plant.
These guys are so wild and crazy, and the mood here is so light and fun-filled.
Tapio Helinen and Vesa Kontiokari have worked together here for 10 years.
So you guys are so close, you don't really even need to talk to each other. You just know what the other guy is doing.
This is a routine.
It's a, yeah.
Blood pudding is served about once a month in schools in northern Finland these days. It's rich in iron and protein and gives kids a taste of what their parents suffered through in the cafeteria lunch line.
What's the secret to a great blood pudding?
The blood.
The blood. That's a nice blood cake. This is more like a bloody spoon bread that has the aftertaste of chowing down on an extremely fresh piece of organ meat. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
You can still find blood-based products all over Finland, from gas stations to corner stores that stock favorites like packaged blood pancakes and sausage. The comforting foods of childhood. Blood is just one classical Finnish ingredient, but you can find them all near the old port of the capital city, Helsinki, in the Kauppatoori, or Market Square. For most of the year, it's a transit hub, offloading Finns and foreign tourists by the ferryful. But in summer, it's a magnet for Finland's freshest sun-kissed vegetables and fruits.
Sweeter,
Yeah,
better strawberry flavor, just absolutely takes your breath away.
thank you.
Thanks to a wet, rainy spring, saltwater breezes, and an intense summer filled with 22 hours a day of sun, and of course, there's fish. Sold by the families who make a living catching them along the coast. Like this woman, who's been puttering here every summer for the past 40 years to sell her home-cured herring, Finnish comfort food at its best.
This just is spectacular. Soft, delectable, not fishy in the least.
And her salmon cakes are to die for.
Oh my God.
So is the salmiakki, black licorice made with copious amounts of ammonium chloride.
Really like it?
Love it. Because it's not one note. If licorice is too sweet, it's just one note.
Yeah.
This is very sophisticated.
I know. It's Finnish.
Love these people.
They even make ice cream from the stuff.
The secret to the inner beauty of the women of Finland. Salt, licorice.
The Finns I've met have warm hearts and wry senses of humor, lurking just beneath those strong, silent exteriors.
These are magic piece. That's why in Finland we have a very beautiful woman and very strong and handsome man.
These are magic. And where do you find the handsome men?
Example here.
See what I mean? Just a short drive across town is the other popular Helsinki market, the Hakaniemi Kauppahall. Constructed in 1914, this was the working man's market. A one-stop shop housing shrimp, salmon, pickled herring, the works. Tarja Hiltonen has been working this fish counter for years.
What should I try first?
Yeah. She encourages me to try the lampreys, a bottom-dwelling cousin of the eel that uses a row of serrated teeth to bite and then suck the blood of its hosts.
It's one of the most horrendous animals in the world.
Yeah.
There are only a handful of countries on Earth that eat lampreys, but they've somehow endured here, salt pickled and served whole.
In Finland, if you're a real man, you always start with the head. Deep breath.
Deep breath. There's the head
Yeah, there is the head.
with that tiny little sucker mouth.
Yes.
You take one bite of that head and everything is fine, and then you mush down on the rubbery little mouth
Yeah.
that's an indestructible
Yeah.
piece of God's creation.
Yeah.
And it's like biting a tiny little rubber eraser donut. Say, that was some good lamprey.
So now it's over.
But her stock in trade is selling beautiful smoked salmon and a dozen varieties of herring, from the basic to bizarre.
There is some honey and tar.
You know something? I love tar in my fish. That's delicious.
Yeah.
from the taste of it, you really meant tar, because that smells like something you scrape out of the chimney.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's smoky.
Yeah, it is.
Tar is a common seasoning in Finnish cooking. You can even buy it in a spray bottle.
And this you can spritz on anything.
Yeah.
This
Even
is
on you.
fantastic. Even on me.
It's one of my finer moments. A romance fueled by pickled herring and cured fish eggs.
Nice Jewish boy from New York, loves smoked fish, lands in Finland, falls in love.
To me or the fish?
To you,
Oh.
the fish.
Thank you. The fish is not important at all.
Fish are a favorite for some rowdy guests at a wild breakfast buffet.
Feet are okay. I don't want to see elbows on the table, though.
And later, warning, the foraged food I'm about to eat can be hazardous to my health.
So if you eat it as raw, you're gonna get killed.
This is Lapland, northeastern Finland, near the town of Kuusamo. They really can see Russia from their backyard. In fact, this rural area has been annexed by Russia a couple of times in the past few centuries. The region is home to one of the world's largest populations of Eurasian brown bears. And I'm looking to see a few of them today.
You're eyeballing me. You're eyeballing me.
Lucky for me, I have a lunch offer from the Palosari family to hear their tall tales of hunting these animals
Can I see the bear skull?
and to share a hearty meal of bear meat. Bears are prized for their skins, meat, and trophy value, but they're elusive in the forest, hard to capture, and dangerous when wounded.
When you hold it like this and you see how powerful this animal's jaws are, it's a little scary.
Kauko Palosari and his wife Berit raise hunting dogs, and he's bagged a couple of bears over the years. About 60% of the bear is edible meat. Palosari's pal Risto Pitkinen uses an insanely complex and sophisticated recipe. Tenderize, salt, and fry in a big sizzling puddle of butter. Bear meat is reserved for special occasions for the Palosari family and their friends.
This is the bear.
This cut is from the rump of a young 80-pound bear. Finland has a large enough brown bear population that a short, tightly controlled hunting season is allowed.
Smells faintly of pork. Wow. It's delicious. It tastes kind of like beef that's just turned a little bit. It's just metallic and gamey enough to let you know you're not eating beef. That's good bear.
Animals taste different depending on what they eat. These bears roam the forests and lake areas, feasting on fish, vegetation, and
eating reindeers and elk. The moose sometimes.
Now we're getting down to it. Because these bears are eating nice reindeer.
which makes Finnish bears tastier than others I've tried.
Very nice work with the cooking. Very nice work with the shooting.
For this group, hunting is a sport, but there is a respect between man and beast. But about an hour south are a couple of guys who love their bears like family and spend their days raising and feeding half a dozen enormous brown bears, along with wolverines